Welcome to International Christian Women's Council, Lesson 2. Today's topic is the anchor, both sure and steadfast. The scriptures are coming out of St. Luke chapter 6, verses 46 through 49, and then Hebrews chapter 6, verses 17 through 20. Luke chapter 6, verses 46 through 49, and this is the King James Version. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built a house and digged deep, and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house, and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Hebrews chapter 6, verses 17 through 20, wherein God, willing more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel, confirmed it by an oath, that by two immutable things, in which it was impossible for God to lie, we might have a strong consolation, who have fled for refuge, to lay hold upon the hope set before us, which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, and which entereth into that within the veil, whither the forerunner is for us entered, even Jesus, made a high priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. The who, what, how, when, and where of the anchor. In Times Like These by Ruth K. Jones. In times like these, you need an anchor. Be very sure. Be very sure. Your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. This popular song was penned over 80 years ago in 1943 by Ruth K. Jones, a pastor's wife and mother of 5. A simple woman, she was distressed by the dreadful headlines and long list of casualties of World War II, which she observed daily. Pained by the slow progress of the Allies, the strain of ration supplies, and the general stress of the war, she turned to Scripture for solace. Her eyes fell on 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come, sounding like the difficult days they were experiencing. She took a small notepad from her apron and wrote the words, "In times like these, you need an anchor." She warned, "Be very sure your anchor holds and grips the solid rock. That rock is Jesus." As the song gained popularity, often sung by George Beverly Shee at the Billy Graham Crusades, Ruth was convinced that God had given her this song and these lyrics at such a crucial time to touch the lives of others and to impact the world. Words written on a notepad in an apron following her time in the scriptures had infiltrated the country. She was mystified that God had used a simple unknown woman such as herself to bring an anthem of hope in a time of such worldwide turbulence and distress. As women who have lived and experienced much of the highs and lows of life, can't we relate to the concern Ruth Jones had for her community and the lives of others around her? How comforting and amazing to discover that God allowed her to do something about it. In fact, we will discover that God has used the anchor to impact the lives of Christians with hope and solace for centuries. Note to self, what is God waiting to do through me and you to answer a call of distress, touch the lives of others, and impact our community and even the world? The fish is often thought of as an early symbol of Christianity. However, history reveals the anchor as one of the oldest symbols of Christianity, used as early as the 1st century AD, familiar to Christians during the Roman persecution, and as expressed by the lyrics of Ruth K. Jones. The anchor was often a symbol of strength, solace, and encouragement, combined with a cross representing Jesus and sometimes referred to as a mariner's cross. It also symbolized safety, steadfastness, and salvation through Jesus. Saint Clement of Alexandria is said to have approved the anchor based on Hebrews chapter 6 verse 19, which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast. Steadfast faith for these early Christians didn't just take them out of their comfort zone, it cost them their lives. Saint Ambrose likewise wrote, as the anchor thrown from a ship prevents the ship from being tossed about, but holds it securely, so too does faith, strengthened by hope. The anchor was found with inscriptions in the catacombs and as a epitaph on believers' tombs, frequently displayed alongside messages of hope. Archaeologists found about 70 examples of such messages in one cemetery alone. This is powerful evidence that the faith of these early Christians remained anchored and steadfast under the most dire of conditions, even to the end. The conclusion: if Ruth K. Jones was distressed by the headlines of her day 80 years ago, we are nearly devastated by the headlines of today. There is no question that perilous times are here. With the ravages and loss of COVID still lingering, mental stress and suicide on the rise, financial hardship increasing, family fractures, gender confusion, and same sex promotion infiltrating everywhere, political disarray, societal erosion, and social media takeover have destroyed long held standards. Young and old leaving the church, and Christians who remain in even mainline churches adapting such unbiblical teaching as same sex marriage. If we ever needed the strength and hope of an anchor and restoration of a sure foundation, it is now. Jesus himself described the necessity of building on a sure foundation, the bedrock of his word, as well as the consequences when we do not. Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built a house and digged deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Luke chapter 6, verses 46 to 49. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.